Hello everyone. So in the previous video we have discussed about chapter number 1, knowing our numbers, large numbers, the Indian system, international system, putting commas and everything, and we have done some questions also. What we are going to do now in this video, we are going to discuss about the further topics of the same chapter number 1, knowing our numbers from NCERT textbook. Okay, so before moving to our topic, I want to discuss you some things. I want to ask you some things. For example, if I am asking that, can you tell me what is the measurement or what is the length of this marker? Probably you will take a scale and you will measure it and you will say that, sir, your marker is approximately 10 centimeter or something like that. Means cm, you are writing the word as centimeter, right? But if I will ask you, can you find out the thickness of this marker? If I'm asking you to find out the thickness of the marker, will you be able to do it in centimeter? No. We will be taking a smaller thing, that will be millimeter. We will be taking some smaller unit, that will be millimeter. But if I am asking you to, can you find out the length of my board or even the length of my wall, will you using any one of them, centimeter or millimeter? Centimeter will be too small. Like even our scale is for 15 centimeter, 12 centimeter, it's very small, like this much. How many times we have to place it just to find out the measurement of my board or even the measurement of my wall? So which unit we are going to use here? We will be using meter here. We will be using meter here. Okay, that's pretty cool. Everyone knows that. But if I am asking you to find out the distance between two cities, like from Delhi to Mumbai, from Mumbai to Chandigarh, or from Chandigarh to Kolkata, will we able to do these things to find out in meter? No. We will be able to find out the distance between two cities in which unit, dears? Yep, kilometers. Kilometers. Good. So we can say that whenever we need to find out the length or the distance, we are using the common thing is meter. We are using meter in its different form. Maybe it will be kilometer, maybe it will be meter, centimeter or millimeter. But what we are doing is that we are finding out or we are calculating the distance or the length of anything in meter. Okay, that's pretty cool. But now if I'm asking you, for example, whenever we are going to purchase vegetables or groceries, for example, if you want to purchase rice, what we will say to that shopkeeper? We will say to that shopkeeper, sir, can you please give me 2 kgs of rice, 5 kgs of rice, 3 kgs of rice, right? What is that? Kg. Kg says that we are asking them kilogram. Kilograms. Good. Everyone knows that. But what happens if you want to purchase red chilies or even green chilies? If you need to purchase green chilies, will you say that give me 5 kgs of green chilies? No. You will say that give me 250 grams, give me 100 grams of green chili. Is that right? Yes. So we will use gram at that time. Good. Now, one more thing is there that, for example, I want to purchase a bucket for me. A bucket for water. A water bucket I want to purchase. I will be seeing that there will be some small buckets, some big buckets, some average buckets. Usually the capacity of a bucket is always near about 20 to 25 liters. Good. I am using the word here, that is liters. And but for example, if you want to purchase a hair oil or if you want to purchase a soft drink, will you be saying that give me 20 liters of hair oil or give me 20 liters of cold drink or a soft drink or a juice? No. Even on the Tetra packs, if you have seen, even on the can of a fruit juice or a juice, you have seen that it will be 250 ml, it will be 50 ml, it may be 100 ml, like that. Ml means what? Milliliter. Ml means milliliter. So one thing we can find out here, or one thing we can recognize here, that if I need to find out the length or the distance, I am using meter as my unit. If I want to find out the weight of something, I am using gram and kilogram as my units. And if I want to find out the capacity of any liquid or if I want to measure a liquid, if I want to measure the liquid, I am using liters and milliliters. Is it true? Good. Now let's see what is the relation between all of them. See, I want to share you one chart here or one table here which is always 100% true, and if you will learn that table at grade 6 onwards, it will be very helpful for you in the near future too. So in textbook there are only the relations between these all things, but instead of remembering them separately, by my table, the table which I am giving to you, you will be remembering all the things forever. Okay, so let's see what is that. So here is that small table. Kilo, mlg means meter, liter or gram, centi and milli. This kilo can be kilometer, kiloliter or kilogram. This centi can also be centimeter, centiliter and centigram. Even this milli also will be millimeter, milliliter or milligrams. So this mlg indicates that this table is actually working for meter, liter and gram. That is our 3 units which we have to study. So whenever we want to find out the relation between kilo, meter, liter and gram, we can say that 1 kilogram is actually having 1000 meters, 1000 liters or 1000 grams. Means if it is 1 kilogram, if it is 1 kilogram, it will be actually 1000 grams, right? If it is 1 kilometer, if it is 1 kilometer, it will be how much? 1000 meter, right? Like that, if it is 1 kiloliter, it will be 1000 liter. So whenever we want to convert kilo into mlg, we want to multiply it by 1000. Whenever we want to convert kilo into mlg, we want to multiply it by 1000. If I want to convert this meter, liter or gram into centi, I want to multiply by 100. Means if I am asking you that 1 meter is equals to how many centimeters, you will say 100 centimeters. Okay. If I want to move from centi to milli, if I want to move from centi to milli, it is again 10. If I am asking that 1 centimeter is equals to how many millimeters, then you will say it will be 10 millimeters, right? And if I want to convert directly, like in 1 liter, how many milliliters will be there? So 100 into 10 means what? 100 into 10 means 1000. So if I am asking that 1 liter is equals to how many milliliter, it will be 1000 directly. 100 into 10,000. If I am asking 1 gram is equals to how many milligrams, it will be 1000 milligram. Yes, very easy. If I am asking that 1 kilogram equals to how many milligrams, 1 kilogram equals to how many milligrams? How much we need to multiply? 1000 into 1000. 1000 into 1000. That means 1 kg is actually equals to, count the number of zeros, 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6 mg means milligrams. If I want to put the commas here, 3 2 and 2, then how much it will be? 1 times 100,000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh. 1 kg is equals to 10 lakh milligrams. Is it clear to everyone? This chart is very easy if you are using it forever. No need to buy hard. Just remember that kilo to mlg will be 1000, mlg to centi 100, centi to milli 10. If you remember this chart, you will always do all these conversations or conversions properly. So now let's see how we can solve some questions using that. Okay, now let's see the first question, which is given at the side of your NCERT. I will say the page number 13. Page number 13, they are given there. I will write page 13. At the side, one box is there, that is there given. How many milligrams make 1 kilogram? Just now we have discussed in our video. What is that? Okay, I want to find out in 1 kilogram how many milligrams will be there. So if I want to find out, can I start by making a rough chart here? Kilo, mlg, centi, milli, right? Kilo to mlg 1000 and mlg to milli again 1000, if you do remember. So I can say that 1 kilogram will be having 1000 into 1000 into 1000 milligrams. Yes. So 1 kg will be equals to, again 3 and 3 6 zeros, 2 3 4 5 6 zeros with mg. Putting the commas here, it will become 10 lakhs. So 1 kilogram is having 10 lakh of milligrams. Yes. Now let's see the question number 2 on the same page. Okay. Now let's see the question number 2. Question number 2 says that a box contains 2 lakh medicine tablets, each weighing 20 milligram. Mg means milligram. What is the total weight in grams and kilograms? Okay. So first of all, what we need to do is that we have to find out what is the total weight of 2 lakh medicine or 2 lakh tablets, and then we have to convert that into grams and kilograms. So let's start doing it. Answer. Weight of one tablet. I am writing short form here, but you don't use short forms in your notebooks, it will not look good. So weight of each tablet, how much is given to us? Very good, 20 milligrams. Very good. The number of tablets given to us is actually equals to 2 lakhs. Now what we need to find out? We need to find out the total weight. How to find out the total weight? Total weight of all tablets will be equals to 2 lakhs, because it is the number of tablets, multiplied by 20 milligram. Then how to multiply it? Just multiply 2 into 2 means 4, and count the number of zeros, that is 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 1 2 means 40 lakh milligrams. Good. 40 lakh milligrams is actually the total weight of all tablets. But the question is asking us to find out in grams and kilograms. See, in 1 milligram, how many grams are there? In 1 gram, how many milligrams are there? 1000 are there. So if I am saying that 1000 means 3 zeros. I can say that it will be 4,000 into 1000 grams, right? See, the number of zeros are same here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I am taking the 3 zeros separate as 1000 and 3 zeros with 4. So that I can convert it into gram, because 1 gram is equals to 1000 ml. That will be 4000 into 1000 mg, sorry. 1000 mg, sorry. So this 1000 can be converted as grams and it will become 4000 grams. Hope you can see it. 4000 grams. Next is I want to convert into kilograms. Kilogram, again, the how much, what is the, in 1 kilogram how many grams are there? 1000. So how can I say that? 4000 grams will be actually equals to 4 into 1000 grams, right? 4 into 1000 grams, and this 1000 gram means what? 1000 gram means 1 kilogram. So 4 into 1 kilogram, that will be 4 kilograms. So we can say that 40 lakh milligram is actually equals to 4 kilograms. Hope you have understood it. Now let's see some other questions on the same page under the category as try these. Let's see them. Okay, now let's see the question number 2. It's quite big question. I'm not going to solve each and every part. I will solve only 1 or 2 parts, and the rest of the parts you have to do by yourself. Okay, let's start to read it. A bus started its journey and reached at different places with the speed of 60 km per hour. The speed is given to us. This is the journey of this bus from point A to B to C to D, like roaming up to here, up from G to A. Then find the distance between A to D. How to find out the distance between A to D? We can say that A to B, B to C, C to D. So distance between A to B, how much is? 4170 kilometers. Now from B to C, how much? 3410 kilometer. Then from C to D, it is 2160 kilometers. The question was asking from A to D. A to D means A to B, B to C, and C to D. Total distance means we need to add it. Just add it now. 0, 7 and 1, 8, 8 and 6, 14, 4, carry 1, 2 and 4, 6, 6 and 1, 7, then 4 and 3, 7, 7 and 2, 9, 9740 kilometers. Good. Like that, I can do the second part also. Find the distance between D to G. D to G, like D to E, E to F, F to G. That also I can do. So you can do it by yourselves. Find the total distance. If it starts, it means the bus starts from A and come back on A. If the bus is starting from A and coming back to A, then what is the total distance? Easy. Just simply you need to add all the distances and you will be able to find out that. Fourth part is find the difference in distances of C to D and D to E. What we need to do here, we have to find out the difference in the distances, like which is bigger or which is smaller and by how much. So if I am saying that C to D, how much it is? C to D, 2160 kilometer, right? And if I am asking from D to E how much? 8140 kilometer. Now I want to find out the difference between the means I want to subtract it. So how I can subtract? We'll write D to E at top because it is bigger. 8140 minus it. 0, 14 minus 6, 8, 10 minus 1, Okay, if you don't know, if you don't know like that, I will do easier way. It will be 14, then it will be 0, 14 minus 6, 8, then from 0 1 cannot go, then it will become 7 and it will become 10. So 10 minus 1 9 and 7 minus 2 5. So this is the distance between, or the difference between C2D and D2E. Now the next important question. The question says that find out the time taken by bus to reach from A to B, C to D, E to F, E to G and total journey. So for that also I will show you 1 or 2 examples. Rest of all you have to do by yourselves. Let's check how to do it. First part. The first itself says that find out the time taken by the bus to reach from A to B. Before doing that, I will tell you something about that. How to find out the time. How to find out the time by using the formula, which formula will be applicable to all of these cases or everywhere. The formula is actually of speed is actually equals to distance covered by time taken. Distance covered by time taken means in how much time we are covering a particular distance, that will be called as the speed. But what I need to do is now I have to find out the speed here. I have to find out the time here if speed and distance is given to me. How I can do? The time will be actually equals to, they both will interchange their places. Time will actually equals to distance covered in a particular speed. Distance by speed or distance divided by speed will be the time or the formula to find out the time. Now let us see in first example A to B. A to B. First one. A to B. What is the distance given to us here as 4,170 kilometers. So let us substitute here. Time will be equals to, distance means 4170 divided by speed. Speed is how much given to us? Speed is 60 km per hour. So divided by 60. After dividing it, whatever we are getting here in hours, that will be our time. Here it will be coming approximately 69.5 or 69 hours 30 minutes. Just divide it, then you will get. So like that you can do other parts also, C to D, E to G and total journey. Total journey means total distance which you have already find out here divided by 60 km per hour, then you will find out the total time taken by the bus in the entire journey. Is it clear to everyone? There are some other questions on this page number 14 now. We came on 14 after 13. So some other questions are also there which I want you all to solve. So if you are watching my video till now and if you are able to understand everything, then don't forget to like and subscribe my channel. Then let's meet in the next video with a new topic and with some new questions. Up to that time, bye bye. Let's meet in the next video.